I wanted to start with some gusto. There's no gusto. There's no excitement. I think it's just I'm bored of myself at the moment. I'm honestly bored of myself. I'm sick of talking to myself in this awful room. So what I do is I put this thing on, this little camera here. I'm going to talk to you because why wouldn't I want to talk to you? I'm looking at myself here. I need to stop looking at myself. Let me take that off my screen entirely. It's a waste of my time. Yeah, so welcome. This is the first time that I've ever done a podcast completely solo. I'm Dan, if you don't know already. houseofhoot.com. House of Hoot on YouTube, House of Hoot on DLive, Twitch. I'm on all sorts of stuff, and now apparently podcasts. So we're here. It's the 19th of May. It's Sunday night as I record this. It's 8:30. I hope you're well. I hope this finds you well. I'm well. I'm very well. Not sick for once. Always normally sick. I've got over the sickness. Not over the hay fever and the allergies because it's right in the middle of hay fever season. So that's my update that you don't care about. Anyway, the purpose of this whole thing, this whole podcast, this whole idea is to basically, I've got this House of Hoot thing that I don't do enough content for. So let's do some content. This is my way of basically trying to get out into the world and give people things to listen to, things to watch, things to enjoy under my banner. There's a couple of people that work with me, of course, but at the moment they're not here helping. So yeah, last night I watched Detective Pikachu. Well, Pokemon Detective Pikachu for the first time. For probably not the only time, but it'll be the only time that I see it in a theatre because it was sort of it's not a theatre film to me. It's a film that you can watch, kind of. It's watchable, it's nice, it's interesting. But what was weird about it in a theatre setting was that Pokemon's kind of, I don't know, Pokemon's always been a little bit underground, a little bit shady. Pokemon is for those people who, I was going to say Mother's Basement, but everyone does that. It's not for Mother's Basement people. It's for, like, an upper echelon of Mother's Basement people. It's for kids who don't kiss a girl until they're 19, maybe. I didn't have Pokemon cards because I was poor. But, well, I think I did have Pokemon cards, actually. I remember people used to bring in Pokemon cards on the playground, and they'd be like, they'd come over to you, and they'd have, like, a weird... when you get paint when you're a child and you kind of paint on the paper and the paper becomes crusty, the paper turns into like, I mean, I don't want to be crude, but it turns into what happens when ejaculate gets onto toilet paper and then it dries, it gets kind of crispy. That's how these Pokemon cards were. They were kind of like when you dip a tea bag to try and make, like, you're making a treasure map in school. So you've got the treasure map, you've got the piece of paper, you write all your nice stuff on it, but before you do that, after you do that, you stain it with tea bags. You stain the paper, make it look old. So these people are showing up. They've got photocopies of Pokemon cards. Not shiny Pokemon cards, just normal Pokemon cards. And then we're sat here. They're trying to get, like, the good Pokemon cards out of you. So I can't really remember any good Pokemon card, like, names, potentially. Let me see. Let me see if we can find. So if we go Pokemon card rares. Let's find some Pokemon rares. Right, so top 10 rarest Pokemon cards ever on eBay, a list. This is a nice rabbit hole to go down to start us off. Charizard base set first edition card. I've seen that card, but it might have been a photocopy of it. So that perfect opportunity. A perfect example of what I was talking about. Pikachu illustrator cards, only 5 in circulation. Never seen that one. Wait, how much is a mint condition Charizard card? Is that... That's 12. No Star Nintendo. This was the Japanese card, so this is what people would bring in. People would bring these into school and try and trade with you, photocopies and crappy versions of them. But look at this, $980. It's not even got the back on that we know. That's not the back that I recognize. That's something else entirely. Look at that. That's nostalgia right there. So I do have a Patreon if you want to if you want to donate to that, because that would help me out immensely. Look at the Charizard. So I saw a couple of Charizards. photocopies. I remember the shiny Magikarp. The shiny cards were important. I'm reading introduced off there. The shiny cards were really important because they were the ones that couldn't be faked. So you'd get the shiny card, you know that was real. So you've got that in the bank. You keep the shiny card. Nobody ever battled them, which was weird. There's a whole game behind it that I have no idea how to play. It's kind of like poker to me. I don't know how to play poker either. I wonder if you have to be a degenerate to play Pokemon cards. Like a proper degenerate. Like would sell everything off your child's back just to get a Mr. Mime. Shiny Mr. Mime. Shiny Mr. Mime would be fun, I think. Would it? Mr. Mime is just a mime. He mimes things. What I didn't... This is going to go... We're off topic, but I'm going to come back onto topic with this. So there's a... Detective Pikachu. There's a scene in there. They're in the trailer. Looks all nice. In the trailer looks all interesting. So they're basically trying to get information. This is a spoiler, by the way, kind of. They're trying to get information out of Mr. Mime. And the Mr. Mime he's chilling. He's initially unwilling to cooperate. So he's kind of no-selling it. He's telling them where to get off. He's not interested in this shit. He knows that he has the information that they need, and he knows that he's not going to talk. He knows that. So they're trying their best to get the information out of him, and he's not biting. He's not biting until that is Justice Smith. Can't remember his name. Tim. He's called Tim. Tim works out how to get inside the Mr. Mime's head, and once he's inside Mr. Mime's head, it's easy. He knows what to do. He gets in there, he unlocks the door, he gets in Mr. Mime's head. This is all a weird, elaborate scene, but it ends in a torture scene where they set him a little bit on fire. Like, they're striking a fake match. I think Pikachu drops it. Pikachu voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Pikachu drops it on the floor, and then, in theory, we don't see it because we leave, but Mr. Mime catches on fire and dies. We don't see that part. It's a kid's film. But Mr. Mime is on fire at the hands of Pikachu, at the hands of Detective Pikachu, a man of the law, a man of... not the law. Is it a man of the law? I don't know. Is it Detective the law? I think he is in this. It never tells you if Pikachu is actually a police officer. You assume that because he's friends with... This is, again, too many spoilers. Basically... Pikachu might be in the law. Right, so let me go through the list of things that I wrote down, not while I was in the theatre, because that was weird, but afterwards I kind of opened my brain up a little bit, tried to understand what it was that I enjoyed, what it was I disliked about Pokemon Detective Pikachu. So it's set in Rhyme City, which is a city that's based around the idea that you shouldn't have to battle Pokemon. You should be friends with Pokemon. You can engage with Pokemon. They're your best buddy. Basically how humans in real life live with pets. So you're not battling pets, that's illegal. People go to jail for battling pets, for killing, well not killing, but like having animals, having dogs fight each other. I saw a parakeet fight once. That wasn't as entertaining as you think it would be. A lot of noise. But we got away from the parakeet fight. So dog fighting's illegal. In Rhyme City, Pokemon fighting's illegal. Pokemon battles are illegal. So that's kind of throwing in the face of what we know to be established. I've written down Poke Law, but it's not Poke Law. It is kind of law, but L-O-R-E. Like it's established in the story rather than law, a criminal offence. It was a nice change of pace. And it was nice to not see Ash Ketchum. It was nice to not see so many people that you knew. There's definitely references to old stuff that you know. The Pokemon characters are kind of cool, and some of the places were kind of like you're looking at. There's a London-ish place. There's almost like a Japanesey place. There was kind of like a New York City-ish place. There's some cool scenes, some cool scenery. So interesting, nice reimagining. Ryan Reynolds is good, right? Really good. Wisecracking. I feel like some of the jokes would have gone over kids' heads, but then it was weird. It was like PG Deadpool. It was like really nice, wise, snarky comments, some good stuff. Because why not do Deadpool for kids? Kids need Deadpool 2, I feel like. Probably not Deadpool 2, the film Deadpool 2. Although there's a cut version of Deadpool 2. That might be fun. That is fun, I think. It's Christmas version. It's got nothing bad in it, I think. Is that right? That doesn't feel right. Can't have anything bad in it. Right, okay. Deadpool 2 PG. Is there a PG-13? Yeah, PG-13. Once Upon a Deadpool. Okay. Once Upon a Deadpool. Okay, yeah, it is. Why is cracking Deadpool meets Russell? No, that's Deadpool 2. That's literally Deadpool 2. Why has it only got 3 stars on Rotten Tomatoes? Okay. What's wrong with it? Fox has been asking for a PG-13 basically since the start of 2006. And he said no since... Look at the... By the way, I don't know if you know... If you listen to this on audio, you're not going to get this. There's an advert on the side here for Iron City Ice Silk Healthcare Boxers. 56% off. Let me click that. Let's see what we've got here. £7. Sexy Ice Mesh Breathable Magnetotherapy Healthcare Boxers for men. Do I need these? Can I get these? Look at this. They've got dimples on the crotch. They've got I don't know what all that. These look cool. These look like Iron Man's underpants. Look at these. Sorry for people who are listening to this. Let's get back to where I was. Where was I? Oh yeah, basically, so is a Fred Savage is explaining explaining Deadpool 2 to a child, I guess. What a weird premise for a film. So he's doing that. Yeah, so Deadpool 2 for kids, apparently. That's not what this is. Some of the bad stuff. No, let's go with good stuff first. Justice Smith's really good. He is the main character. He's in Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom, I think. He's okay in that. He's better in this. The soundtrack's really cool. It's got like a lo-fi 8-bit, 16-bit weird Blade Runner-y feeling to it, and it's shot kind of similar to... I don't know if you've seen like a semi-decent budget Netflix show. So like You is a good example of it, with like it's got like a lo-fi indie soundtrack. It's shot really cool. You get like little blurry flare effects. What is it called? Bloom on the camera lens. So you've got camera bloom a lot in this. It's cool. It looks kind of... I saw that effect in Blade Runner. That was the first thing that came to my head. But they do it in... what's the Star Wars movie? Rogue One, potentially? No, they do it in Solo, I think, when they're in like the underworld and like the lights are kind of flickery and cool. And like, it's hard to explain what it is. Look at the poster, because that's the best way to describe it. It's kind of very similar to the poster in feeling and the way it's shot. The Pokemon all look amazing. Most of them, all of them. Lickitung looks amazing. Lickitung? Is that what he's called? I'm saying Lickitung. I'm saying this like I'm an expert. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Lickitung. Not Lickitung. Yeah, Lickitung. I was right. Lickitung. So there's a Lickitung basically licking. Just there's a bit where he licks Justice Smith's face, Tim's face, and it's just so cool. And it's like it leaves like a trail, like a snail trail on him. It's really cool. Where else? What am I doing? Okay, so bad bits. The film itself is it's kind of paint by numbers action. It's buddy comedy. Sorry, I've just knocked my not the camera completely out of the way. Yeah, but it's kind of paint by numbers. So in that, you know there's a twist coming. You know that the bad guy is English because, of course he is, because why wouldn't he be? So you know that he's a bad guy because he's English straight at the start. And he also pretends to be, this is spoilers again, but he pretends to be nice. He pretends he likes Pokemon. He does like Pokemon, but he believes that humans and Pokemon should be attached to each other, which is why he brings Mewtwo into the mix. And is also, it's kind of signposted to the end. It's also why he's in like a Professor X chair, and then he tries to get the Professor X headset on. I can't remember what it's called. Like, it's called a Neuralink in this, but I can't remember what the Professor X version's called. So he's got that on. He's thinking really, really hard, so he's controlling things, and it's kind of Mewtwo not being a bad guy and then being a bad guy and not being a bad guy is kind of done to death. We've seen that bait and switch before a million times with different things. We've seen Mewtwo be the bad guy in the first Pokemon animated film, I think. It's just kind of blasé at this point. You don't want Ash in there, but you also want Mewtwo. And also, a really weird thing, which I found to be one of I mean, I liked it. I don't know if people will realize that it's directly lifted from it. So the end sequence features a parade, and it features a parade where the parade floats are firing gas out onto unsuspecting people. If that seems familiar, that's because it's from Batman, the 1989 Tim Burton film, Michael Keaton as Batman, Jack Nicholson as Joker. In that, Joker is basically in Pokemon. It's a purple gas called R that will make Pokemon wild, uncontrollable, just primal urge kind of shit. And they're going around smashing each other, battering each other. They're extremely dangerous, but they don't really hurt any humans still, which is weird to me, but I would expect absolute murder. It should have been carnage when the R went off, but there was no carnage, which is disappointing. But, so that's kind of sprayed all over the crowd. Simlex is what Joker sprays all over the people of Gotham City when he's doing his parade. He's dancing to a Prince song, Faith. That's George Michael. Is it called Faith? No. It's called something. Let's call it Purple Rain. Purple Rain would be a nice, no, that would be Purple Rain. It would be Purple Gas. But anyway, I'm waffling. Purple gas gets released onto the people, which renders the faces all like smiley. Too smiley. Really, really, really smiley. And that's kind of, and I think it makes them go like insane and they're laughing a lot. They turn into the Joker, basically. So they directly lifted that from that. And kind of the last fight scene feels really, really Avengers-y in a sense. There's a lot of like high up fighting, and there's that camera angle where they kind of where they are trying to find something in the distance and then they focus on it, and it's all there's a lot of stuff it's taken from elsewhere. It does it okay. Pokemon make it better, but fundamentally, I feel like it could have been, not even could have been anything. It's just kind of it's a fun romp, is what it is. So. One last thing, don't bring your kids to a kid film because you're ruining my experience. And also teach your kids to whisper because there's this kid in there and they're whispering to mum and dad, and suddenly she's like, and I just don't want to hear that. It's nice that your kid can speak English. Do it somewhere else. I don't care. I don't care about your kid. I'm here to watch my kid. I'm here to watch this kid's film. Your kid doesn't know who Pokemon are. Maybe knows who Pikachu is. Doesn't know this Pikachu. This Pikachu is piece of garbage. Piece of human Pikachu garbage is what this Pikachu is. So yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't even know. Can we rate Detective Pikachu? I feel like I should rate it. I tell you, it's good. Go and see it. It's worth seeing. You probably don't see it twice. It's no Endgame. Put it that way. But yeah, it's interesting enough. Ish. Yeah. So for a change of pace, let's go to, I have just minutes ago released this video. I'm clicking stuff like I can click it. I'm in a browser window clicking stuff. I've just released this video, which you can't see if you're only listening to this, but it's a video about a Google Home Mini. Look at that face that I've got there. Google Home Mini, the home helper assistant, the little smart speaker thing. I've been messing with it for about a day, which isn't a lot in terms of actually road testing stuff, but I feel like I might grow to love it. It's interesting that I went into it with slight expectations because I was kind of like, I know I've got a Bluetooth speaker. Here it is. It sits here all the time. It does kind of, I don't know. It's a black web brand. It's some nonsense brand that I picked up, so I can't remember where I got it from, but yeah, it doesn't have any smart capabilities, so I was kind of like, it kind of sounds a little bit rubbish, but it was equally as expensive because I got this on eBay, and basically the idea was I'm going to go on eBay, I'm going to spend no more than £20 and I'm going to get myself a smart speaker, whether that be an Amazon Echo Dot or whether that be the Google Home Mini. Made sense to get a Google Home Mini because I've got Google stuff already in the house. They control the lights, TV, a couple of other things. So yeah, it made sense to go down the Google route. I also use Google Assistant all the time on this. On my got the Samsung It's still an S9. Need to upgrade at some point. Will upgrade at some point. Will upgrade probably fairly soon. Just deciding what I actually want. So yeah, we did it. Messed with it a little bit. I accidentally set an alarm last night. And woke up to an alarm on a Sunday morning. Had no idea how to turn it off. Spent a solid 5 minutes sat around it like a little I won't say Luddite, like a little granddad. I was sat looking at it. There's no buttons on it. So I'm looking at it, I'm going, what do I do? How do I turn this off? Not realising that this is a voice-activated smart speaker, so you can just say, okay, Google, turn off my alarm.
If you just ask to cancel an alarm, there are none set at the moment.
There's none set at the moment, is what Google's saying. But I know different. There's one going to sneak up on me in the morning, and I'm not interested in that because I'm back in work. But this morning was fine. We got that out of the way. The sound, the audio quality is kind of funky. It works. It's a little bit tinny. There's not really any bass to it, but it's little and it's tiny, and you don't expect that from a little tiny speaker. It's exactly what you expect from it's warmer even than you expect from a little tiny speaker, depending on the music. Because sometimes it depends. It varies. I mean, I could do a video basically finding out what music sounds best through it. I don't think I'm going to because that seems boring. But there's bits. There's also, I mean, I'm not an audiophile, so I don't really, it's not for me. There's people out there that it will be for, I mean, people out there who will need something that isn't this. They will need a big speaker, they need one of your Sonos or Bose type speakers, and I would like one of those if that was something I was into. Music-wise, I mean. Like, I'm happy to just hear the music. It doesn't need to be perfect. As long as I can hear it, I can enjoy it. It's whatever to me. But yeah, it's a solid little thing. And for £15, if you can find one second-hand, definitely get one. Because it will take your lazy game to the next level. Because now, I don't even have to leave the room. I can go into the different room. I can say, turn on this on Netflix. It's on there. I can say, okay, Google, play Always by Blink-182. And then that'll start over there somewhere. I think. It's going to start now. There it is. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone. You probably can. Because it's a super sensitive microphone, that music. Okay, Google, stop playing the song. Yes, works. So yeah, it's fun to mess around with. Initially, the 24 hours that I've spent with it been fun. There's a little decent speaker in there. I'm just following it up. If you want to see me actually open it and mess around with it, then you're more than welcome to head over to the YouTube channel. You might already be on the YouTube channel watching this, or if not, then pop over there and find out my initial thoughts on it. Nice little synergy there. What else did I want to bring? I wanted to find out, apparently the new Pixel 4 is going to have no buttons. So Google just brought out the Google Pixel 3a, which is the cool version, which is basically the slimmed down version. Not the slimmed down version, but the cheaper version. So the Google 3a, let me just find all the little stuff. Google are selling it as everything you need in a phone for $399. It's got the cool camera, apparently, the cool camera software that's in the Pixel 3. I don't know because I'm not messed about with it yet. It's made of plastic. This isn't what I'm talking about. But yeah, anyway, there's a whole thing on Google, and I can pop over to there now. There you go. So this is what the Pixel 3a looks like compared to the iPhone X. Did I just say Phone X? Yeah, Phone X. But it's the iPhone X. And then you've got portrait mode, and it's all cool. You've got a depth editor. You've got unlimited storage via the Google Drive. And then this is what it looks like. So it's got an all-day battery. Adaptive battery, so it learns what you do. Fast charging. I don't know if it's got wireless charging. I don't think it has. It potentially does, but there's all of it. It's got a Snapdragon 670, 4GB of RAM. Get it in clearly white, just black and purple-ish. Yeah, and that's the stuff that I'm showing you there. It's all uninteresting to you, but what's interesting to me is that the OnePlus 7 came out, the OnePlus 7 Pro came out this week, and it's a full edge-to-edge screen experience with pop-up camera. Google Pixel 4 apparently isn't going to do pop-up camera. It's going to do hole punch, which we've seen in the Samsung S10, a couple of other phones. I don't know if that's a smart way to go, because I kind of like the gimmick of the pop-up camera, but most people are expecting, I guess, hole punches at the moment. But what that does is, I don't know if you've got a Google Android phone, but they've moved in the gesture command thing instead of buttons, which I'm doing it here, but I really, really like it. So you swipe up on the left, you get your multi, what do they call it? This is too inside baseball, but you get see, it's happening. I've just gone silent because I'm confused by trying to use a gadget at the same time. But it's just multi apps at the same time. What am I trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say. The middle one's a home button, one's a back button anyway, so they're putting that in as a go-to thing. It's going to have no buttons apart from the button on the side, which will be probably Google Assistant, and then maybe a volume button. I don't know. I didn't read it a lot. I'm going to read it a lot now. Should we read it together? Let's read it together. So, Pixel 4, and when it loads up, which it will load up at some point, hole punch selfie camera, and total lack of physical buttons. According to Front Page Tech's YouTube channel, the Pixel 4 will use capacitive touch areas on the sides of the aluminium handset in lieu of clickable physical power and volume buttons. That's even worse, because that's no buttons on the side here. Absolutely no. It's just edge technology, which we've seen before. We've seen it in this actually. This has got edge technology, but it's also in the Pixel 2 and Pixel 3. So you squeeze the phone, and then there is the hole punch camera, which is seen in the S10 Plus, and then the dual lens camera setup on the rear of the device, which does currently happen in the Pixel. Yes, Pixel 3. I think so. Yes, it does. Right. So, yeah, there's two cameras in that. Right. So it's just a leak at this point, but leaks are normally pretty solid in smartphone world, so look out for that, I guess. So, wow, that was a boring bit. I'm just trying stuff, seeing what sticks at the moment. So we're just throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. Do I have anything else to talk about? I feel like I don't have a lot to talk about. I mean, I could have a lot to talk about. I wanted to talk about You on Netflix, actually. I started watching it because it was featured on the Your Mum's House, Tom Segura, Christina Pajitsky podcast. I'm drinking on microphone because I'm an animal. Yeah, so it's featured on there. The show writer was on there. So I started watching it. It's about a guy who meets a girl and then becomes obsessed with the girl via the internet, initially via the internet, and then starts stalking said girl, to the point where he starts not just stalking but then interfering in her life and ultimately killing people in her life. I didn't get all the way to the end yet, but I've got a feeling that it's going to end badly for Beck, the girl character. Shot all nice, feels all nice. It's quite funny in a dark sense, like a dark way. And I feel a lot like Joe in You sometimes. I mean, he's all of us. He kind of narrates it throughout in this weird, not quite novel way. So he's narrating in a way as if he's writing a novel because he's really into books. And books play a central part, and she's a writer, so she's kind of drawn to him because that's how they initially meet in a bookstore. So it's kind of like, watch it. I mean, I'm kind of sitting here and talk about it all day, but watch it. It's really interesting. It's really fun. Fun probably isn't the word. There's a lot of killing, very violent, very creepy. But yeah, it's interesting to watch. It's fun. Not fun. Stop saying fun. Right. So, I think that's pretty much all I've got to talk about for today. I'm probably going to do another couple of these because there's a lot of stuff happening in tech and movies and games and all sorts of stuff all the time. So for me to sit here and go over all of it would be, oh, hang on, something else has happened here. This is breaking news on this. Huawei has immediately lost access to Android and Google. Google suspends business operations with Huawei effective immediately, a forced move that will have a dramatic impact on Huawei devices across the globe. According to Reuters, Google was forced into suspending business with Huawei that requires the transfer of hardware and software products, which means no further Android security products for devices, including the P30, P30 Pro, the Mate 20 Pro, and many more. This is worldwide as well. That's kind of crazy that it's worldwide. They will lose access to popular applications and services, including the Google Play Store, the Gmail app as well. That's kind of crazy. So the next versions of this... No, that's the next versions. The current versions are fine, but they will lose Android operating... Lose access to the Android operating system? Yes. Okay. Huawei is effectively forbidden from buying parts and components from the US companies, which includes Android. Fuck. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say fuck. It's big news because there's a lot of people. Huawei is the second biggest manufacturer in the world. Yeah, I think so. Huawei, second largest. Yeah, it's just it surpassed Apple last year. I think the other one might be, I think Samsung. Yeah, Samsung maintains lead. So, you know, it's a huge market share. It's interesting because I know a lot of people who have Huawei phones at this point, and it's weird. It's just a strange thing to think that political stuff, spying potentially, is going to have such a huge effect on not just people, it is actual people's day-to-day lives, because these phones now won't be updated, might be updated, but won't be updated going forward. Huawei's going to, I guess, if something doesn't happen, it'll drop out of the market, which would be weird to think at the moment, given how many units they actually sell. They sell a lot of P20 Pro, no, P20 Mate, P20 Pro sold a lot. P30 is selling well. It's got the cool cameras in there. It's got the really good cameras in there. And I've seen a couple of, well, not just a couple, but I've seen quite a few of the tablets around as well. So be interesting to see how it all shakes out, how the chips, how the dice land on that, because it's kind of hard to comprehend it, given that they have such a big market share at the moment. Yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with that? And that was a weird. That popped up almost perfectly. I couldn't have timed that any better myself. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I've got for today. Thanks for listening, watching any of the stuff that you've done. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at House of Hoot, HAUSOFHOOT. We're at houseofhoot.com. This will be posted there. Updates will be posted there. And if you are feeling nice, then go to Amazon, go to houseofhoot.com, buy all of your tech stuff, buy all your movies, buy your Pokemon cards, if you want to buy Pokemon cards, through our Amazon link, which is on houseofhoot.com as well. You click the About page, and there's a link for US and UK on there. Click that, buy whatever you're going to buy anyway. We get a little bit of kickback, and I can keep having fun doing these strange things with a flamingo in the background, which I didn't actually notice I had. So yeah, thank you for joining me for my first foray into making a video podcast. Probably going to get guests on, probably going to get more people involved, but right now this is the bare bones version. I'll be back one day this week. Probably I'm going to see an Aladdin on Wednesday, so maybe we'll talk about Aladdin on Wednesday night. So yeah, thank you. Bye.